Welcome everyone. If anybody joining us live through YouTube, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to all our members for giving up their morning for our tour of all our cemeteries and for taking time. Are we ready? Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Any disclosure of conflict of interest, please bring it up at the proper time. And hopefully everybody's had a chance to review the previous meeting minutes. We don't need to pass them. They were passed in council. So we can move along to correspondence. And we have one letter. Amanda, would you like to discuss this or bring this up? Or
thanks, Councillor Morris. Just advising, this correspondence is just advising from a representative of Waste Management, RWI Air Inc., that groundwater monitoring tests were taken at the cemetery well at Watford Cemetery. These are taken annually, so it's just a notice to the board.
Thank you, Amanda. Has anybody got any questions or concerns regarding this? I know we mentioned in our tour that the board is going to officially request the results of this water test and the history of it, just so we can have information if anybody in the public does ask us. Moving on to new business, the financial reports are there. Does anybody want to bring anything up about them, or did you want to discuss them? We have a large amount in our, I guess it's called the perpetual care and maintenance operating account. We have a good budget there, a good solid number to keep us forward. Unfortunately, we can't touch that money except the interest. It's been discussed on our tour that we will bring that forward at AMO to discuss it with the ministry to see if we can use some of those funds for desperately needed care and maintenance. Has anybody got any questions regarding the financial report? Okay, I'd like a mover and a seconder to accept the financial reports, please. Thank you, Joe. Seconder? All in favor? Motion is carried. The next is a lot of paperwork Heather or Amanda or somebody had to do for the Bereavement Authority of Ontario, our watchdog, I guess you'd say, for cemeteries. It's a pretty detailed report. Have you girls got any comments on it, or just as read? Anybody got any questions regarding it? Hey, did you want this one accepted? No? Okay. Thank you. The cemetery contractor comment or contract is there in front of us. I think everybody's had a chance to review it. As everybody knows, it was renewed for a one-year contract. Has anybody got any questions or regarding the contract? Okay, thank you very much. The care and maintenance. Okay, make sure I get the right one here. Care and maintenance fees and schedules. The increases that have been mandated to us, and an increase from Nelson Granite regarding the crematorium. Has anybody got any questions regarding those reports? Hearing none, I'll move along. Okay, now we'd like to open discussion regarding the need for Warwick Cemetery expansion. As everyone knows, this has been proposed for over a year now. It went to council. Council has budgeted so much money and have sent the request back to the cemetery board for discussion and a motion from them regarding the direction. Is anybody, Amanda, do you want to speak on this call, or is there anything to
Thank you, Councillor Morris. Further to our site visit today, the board is aware that we have tendered the cemetery expansion as per the design shown on your agenda. And this was tendered earlier this year. The pricing for the proposed expansion came in at just over $193,000, whereas we had budgeted $100,000 for the project in our 2022 capital budget. And as such, Council referred this to the board for their consideration. At our site, we discussed a few operational requirements for consideration, and I guess we put it here, and we're seeking direction and happy to answer any questions of the board.
Is there any comments or questions from the floor regarding this motion or this recommendation? Okay, at this time, I can accept the recommendation from someone that would like to put it forward.
Okay, so after our discussion, it's either we do it now or we do it later. It's what we decided. Standing out there looking at it, it is above the budget that we had. But is it something that we can do yet this year? Is that what you had mentioned, Amanda?
Great question, Jill. So we think we would still be able to begin the work this year. We'd have to go back to the tender respondent to make sure that they would still honor their price as it has been submitted for some time, and also that their workload would allow it. We could certainly, through our public works manager, work with the potential contractor to review their project schedule in the hopes that, yes, it would be completed this year if it was approved. I don't know if our public works manager has any additional comments to that.
No, that covered it off pretty good. As far as funding, we have had a recent project that came in significantly under budget, so we would be able to find the funds for this project. And like Amanda said, we have lapsed under the contract that we do have 60 days to respond to the tender, and it has been closer to 90, but we can certainly reach out to them to see if they'll honor the price.
So then I'll make a motion that we go forward with the tender as long as the company is willing to do it according to what we've asked. I guess if it's different, they come back and it's a different number or something, then we'll have to renegotiate or re-talk about it. But for now, I'd like to put that motion through that we get started with the expansion in Warwick.
Thank you, Jill. Could I have a seconder?
I'll second.
Thank you. Now, is there any further discussion on this before we bring it back? Now, this will be a recommendation from the board, the cemetery board, back to council. That's what council requested. Okay, so this recommendation will go back to council, I would assume, for the meeting on the May 30th. So when you tune in all on YouTube to watch us, you'll see the results of that. So all in favor of this motion? Motion is carried. That moves us right along to any outstanding business. Amanda, have we got any outstanding business?
I just have one notice I wanted to provide to the board, and then just some follow-up on our cemetery tour today. So one, in terms of notice, I just wanted to confirm that the Warwick Cemetery Decoration Day has been scheduled for June 26th. So we have worked with the local organizer of that event so that they will be renting Warwick Communities or using Warwick Community Center and having an on-site service at that day. And our Parks and Rec team will work with the contractor to make sure the cemetery looks great for that event, and also in advance of our Watford Cemetery Decoration Day in August. The other just notice I wanted to provide is that we have, as a result of our tour, made a list. Heather has been so kind to do that for us, and we will work towards completing that action plan generally for the cemetery services.
You have a time that the Warwick Cemetery is set? Not at the.
I do not have a time at this time. Jill, when I do, though, we'll circulate to the board.
Great, thank you.
The Watford Cemetery Decoration Day has been really done by the cemetery board. I think Warwick looks after their own. It's the old Warwick United Church that basically does it. Putting it out to them, if anybody's online, we're more than willing to help. If there's anything we can do to assist from the Warwick Cemetery Board, please let us know. Is there any other business? None? Well, I guess the next thing is adjournment. If we have no other business, have we got another meeting scheduled yet, Amanda, or anything yet? Okay, so Amanda will contact us all, or Heather, sorry, does the contacting to set up the next meeting. If I could have a motion for adjournment, please. And motions for adjournment. Jill seconds. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you very much to the public that was watching. Good day.